I just saw Gladiator II. Was I entertained or was it complete Hollywood bull? Welcome to Movie World Plus, a place where we talk movies. I'm Andy Signor, and surprisingly, the answer is both. It is both. But I have to say, I think this is being a little harsh. But if you are looking for Gladiator 2 to seem like a historical epic, you probably won't want to watch it this weekend. Now, if you were looking for a bigger, bloodier, wilder, but still effective sequel to Gladiator, well, then I think you're going to be pleasantly surprised with this film, as I was. Look, I was very worried about this film. I'm a huge fan of the original. Russell Crowe is fantastic. I rewatched it beforehand, and it still holds up. It's a fantastic film, such a good message. And I'll be honest, this movie does a good job at continuing the story and also becoming its own story in a way, a different time in this fictitious Rome. That's what you got to sort of accept. This is a fictitious version of Rome. This is not the historical version of Rome. So you got to go in knowing that. And look, the movie does, do some callbacks to the original, but I did feel like they're justified. The way they go there makes sense. I'm not going to spoil plot points and such, but it also has some amazing set pieces. There's an opening sequence with a sort of a war battle. There's a lot of different battles, including more gladiator battles. And the film's set pieces worked for me. Now, they may not work for everybody, as this article is sort of saying. I don't think it's spoiler alerts. It's been in the trailer, but the first Gladiator, they sort of bring out, the tiger, and you're like, oh, this is crazy. Well, Ridley Scott's like, no. We're going to one up the tiger and we're going to give you a friggin' rhino. And so it's pretty epic, but then he's like, no, rhino's not enough. They go in and they do a whole, turn the Colosseum into an aquarium, and you bet there are sharks. Now, when you hear this, you're either rolling your eyes going, oh my God, that sounds awful, or you're going, what? Sign me up. And that's kind of the attitude of this movie, because as those moments are happening, I'm kind of like, oh, what? Instead of like, well, that doesn't make sense. You got to go into this movie either turning off the history brain and just accepting this for a massively big budget, historical epic that's not actually historic. And also knowing it's going to give you that sort of gladiator fights that you expect. But what was surprising, there's still some character driven storylines here that worked for me. There's conflict, there's buildup, reoccurring characters, non-reoccurring characters. And I got it going through the characters. Paul Mescal, I have not been super familiar with him, to be perfectly honest. I know he's like rising star, that he has his fans out there of other previous films he did. For me, he was okay. He was fine. Like, he's not bad in this film, but I'll be honest, he didn't exude Russell Crowe to me. Like, Russell Crowe came out of nowhere with this film and just was like, bam, I'm a movie star. I'm Russell Crowe. I mean, he was good. He was fine, but there was just something about him that didn't exude that kind of star quality that I was, expecting from the lead of this film. Now, not to say it didn't work. He still delivers a performance. He is another sort of a kid pulled into the wars of Rome, gets through sort of his goal, then of course taken to gladiatordom, slavedom, etc., and has to work his way back. And it starts to seem like it's just a repeat of Gladiator, and in some ways it sort of is, but it does all justify the steps. It does sort of give you those moments from the first film that you want to see in this film, while also moving the story forward in a way that I did think was effective. And on top of that, you do have some new cast members. Denzel Washington's fantastic in this movie. I mean, he always is. I mean, no one should be surprised by this, but I definitely could see an award nomination for him in this. It's a juicy role where you just don't know where he's going to go, and how bad is he? Seems bad. How bad is he? Is he not as bad? There's just a lot of stuff, as you can see with those eyes. He's always sort of figuring out, what is he going to do? What's the plan that Denzel's got? And I got to say, overall, I was impressed with him. Obviously, always am as an actor, but really enjoyed some of the moments and different things he got to do in this movie. Connie Nielsen's back. It's, she's there. She does some scenes. Her part is pretty instrumental as the film progresses. And then Pedro Pascal also in the film. And I was worried, is he going to be able to pull off the Roman soldier? And yeah, I thought he does a great job. He has a good, interesting character, go at conflict with our gladiator. And as the stories unfold, the characters' arcs adjust. It makes the story and the conflict of the story a little bit more interesting. Now, that said, Gladiator 1 is still a better film. It is definitely a better film. But there are moments that are great. Like, example, Joseph Quinn is fantastic. Big fan of him. He's been impressing me more and more. I thought I'd pulled a still of him, but he's, do I not have a still of him? No. He's the one here on the right. Stranger Things, Quiet Place Day One. I don't know who this actor is. They're twins now. They're the new emperors, and they're these just psychopathic twins. Very reminiscent to Joaquin Phoenix in the original, like similar vibe, but almost even, but now more unchecked. Rome has sort of gone to hell, is what the new premise of this film is, and they're just conquering everything. And there's alliances and people who want to throw Rome and stop this, and make it for the better. And these two are just, total scene stealing, just villains, just psychopaths, loving the violence. And I thought both of them did a really good job. And Joseph Quinn there on the right, he is definitely becoming an actor to watch. For me, the standouts of this film weren't Pascal or Mescal. It was Quinn and Denzel, to me, were the standouts of this film. As people, I'm like, okay, yeah, those are the ones I was more invested in as the film progressed. And that was part of my problem in that, again, he's fine. I wasn't offended by him. He didn't like take me out of it at any point, but he never really took me to the place that Maximus took me in the first one. There just was an exuding of charisma, action, intensity, performance from Russell, especially as he's losing his family and seeking his vengeance. I did not get that same moment. And he has his chances to sort of go there, and he does fine. Like I said, he's not bad, but I'm just stressing the fact that Paul Mescal did not impress me, and I think he needed to step up and do it even harder. But it's hard to be on the shoulders of Russell Crowe. It is in this, because that is, I think, one of Russell Crowe's best performances, and he's a fantastic actor. And that's what he's up against in this. And that's the only thing I will say this film really... will that leave an impression on me like the first one did? I don't think so. I don't think this film will leave a lasting impression. Some of the set pieces will, I'll say. And overall, like, I enjoyed it. I was surprised how much I liked it. I was surprised how much the story connected and helped Gladiator 1 to sort of see where did things really go. You get to learn all that while also, making its own thing and setting up potentially more. You could, I guess. It could, depending on how this does. I could see them coming back for more. But I would say, look, at the end of the day, Gladiator 2, if you like the first one and you like the idea of the Colosseum filled with sharks, don't miss it this weekend. Check it out and get ready for a orgy of violence and drama and have a good time. And honestly, this coupled with Wicked, I guess Glicked is now, in fact, a real thing. I would argue that both of those films are worthy of your attention and your ticket this weekend. These are two really strong, big budget movies that did not disappoint me. They're one for adults, one for family, and no one would have thought that we'd have another Barbenheimer as they were trying to do. But sure enough, here comes Glicked. Can it recapture they're going to do great this weekend, and I think they should. Will it sustain past Moana 2, which is coming out next week? Probably not. And we'll have a review for that next week as well. But what are you more excited for? Wicked, Gladiator 2? Were you not really excited for either, but now suddenly going, maybe I should? Because that's now where I'm at. You should. And I didn't think I would tell you to, but in both of these films, I have to say thumbs up for Gladiator 2 and for Wicked. If you missed my Wicked review, go check out that. I'll put it here at the end. Hit the subscribe button if you missed my other reviews and you want to make sure you get your alerts. Hit that all. Smash the thumbs up and leave your comments down below. A lot more coming for the fall and Oscar seasons. Don't miss them. Thank you guys so much for watching here on Movie World Plus.